Welcome to the Goodyear Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. We're excited to have you be a part of this important public process. Tonight, you will have the opportunity to address the commission on both non-agenda and agenda items. The agendas and speaker request cards are located in the back of the council chambers. You must fill out a speaker request card in order to address the commission. Please hand in your completed card to a city staff member. You may check the "I do not wish to speak" option on the card. This allows you to still voice your opinion on an item on the record without having to speak. In accordance with the Americans with Disabilities Act, please contact a staff member if you need any assistance. Public comment on a non-agenda item will take place during the citizen comment portion of the evening. These are items that don't appear on tonight's formal agenda. The commission secretary will call your name when it's time for you to speak. At that time, please approach the podium and tell us your name for the record. You'll have a maximum of 3 minutes. The timer is on the screens visible from the podium. Note that you may also choose not to speak if other speakers before you have said what you wanted to say. Shouting, cheering, and loud noises will not be tolerated, and violators may be removed for disrupting the meeting. Goodyear Planning and Zoning Commission meetings stream live on YouTube and online at goodyearaz.gov. Follow the city's social media pages so you don't miss out on all that's happening in Goodyear. Thank you for coming to this meeting and being an active part of your city. And remember, it's a great time to be in Goodyear.
Good evening and welcome. The Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for Wednesday, March the 12th, 2025 is called to order. Will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the Secretary please note the roll?
Of course. Commissioner Booth is present, Commissioner Hegedus is present, Commissioner Smith is present, Vice Chair Sambito is present, Chairman Clymer is present, Commissioner Wang is absent, Commissioner Nepomuceno is absent. We have a quorum. Is there a motion and a second to excuse Commissioner Wang and Commissioner Nepomuceno from the meeting? Oh, apologies. Try it now. I have a motion from Commissioner Booth and a second from Commissioner Hegedus. Please enter your vote. Motion passes.
Item number 1 is to approve the draft minutes of the last meeting. Will the Secretary please read the recommendation?
Approve the draft minutes of the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting held on February 12th, 2025. Is there a motion second for the staff recommendation? I have a motion from Commissioner Hegedus and a second from Commissioner Booth. Please enter your vote. Motion passes.
Now it's time for citizens who would like to address the Planning and Zoning Commission for any non-agenda items. Are there any speaker cards?
I do. I have received one from Jeff Redmond. If you would like to come up. The commission will listen to comments and may take any one of the following: respond to criticism, request that staff investigate and report on the matter, request that the matter be scheduled on a future agenda. Each speaker is limited to 3 minutes. The screens will let you know how much time you have left to speak. Before you begin to speak, identify yourself by clearly stating for the record your name and if you're a Goodyear resident.
Very good. Good evening, everybody, and thank you all for your service to the community. My name is Jeff Redmond. I am a resident, live in Estrella. A couple of weeks ago, I presented to the City Council under the umbrella or premise of preserving the quality of life for existing residents during this explosive growth. I know y'all have been busy, so you know what I'm talking about. I believe that you would be hard-pressed to find a city in America that's growing faster than we are. I'd like to read you a quote by the City Council. This was about a year ago. Quote, "Goodyear's open spaces are only 13% filled, and we need to fill them quickly," unquote. So again, you can see where that has kind of for me, it's kind of a rub. It wasn't, let's fill those spaces smart, let's fill those spaces strategic, or how the citizens of Goodyear want them to, but quickly. With that said, it's pretty apparent that Southwest Goodyear is becoming an industrial park with the warehouses, the roads, the freeways, thousands of apartments, and the expansion of the airport. Nothing we can do about it. That dog, or that horse is out of the barn doing laps right now, so there's really nothing we can do about it. But what we can do is make sure we communicate to the existing residents on all that growth ongoingly. I know there was a project that came about 6 months ago, a year, where talked about the growth of the city for like a 10-year plan, if you will. Well, that kind of brought to the surface, and now it's kind of gone away, and now all of a sudden you see growth happening all around us. With the rest of my time, I'd like to talk about one key topic. If I have more, I'll throw one in. Communication of specific projects to the surrounding community where that project's happening. Right now, there's an existing, don't quote me on the specifics, but I researched just a little bit with your department. There's an existing 500-foot zoning ordinance rule with a 15-day notification period. So if there's a project happening by you, you're 500 feet away, you get a notice in the mail, I guess, I've not seen one, that there's something coming. This doesn't cover the people that are 501 feet away plus that can see it, can hear it, can smell it, and are inundated by the dust. I'm one particularly up off of Willis and Rainbow. Large expansion of the water treatment plant, large storage facility going in, and a large housing development going in. I didn't know these were happening because that road is not traveled by many. I didn't know they were happening until they broke ground. So I know my time's out coming up, but I just want to kind of throw this out there. I'd like us to take a hard look at broadening that ordinance to the adjacent communities. Right now, it's 500 feet away. Sometimes nobody would be notified. So what I'm suggesting you do is take a look at broadening that ordinance to all of the surrounding communities, no matter what their distance is, and every member of that community. So with that said, if you have a question about do you have any questions about what I just presented there at the very end there?
No, I don't, although I do believe, I'd have to get with the city planners on this, but I think we're over and above higher foot-wise notifying people than some of the surrounding cities. Some of them, I think, are only 300 feet. I know it doesn't seem like a lot. I would have, maybe you have your name and the phone
Yes,
number
sir,
and
I
so
do.
forth. I'll have somebody contact you on that, and I you know, for us, when we have all of our meetings, you know, that's predisposed on who it is that wants to do some things with zoning, and we don't see everything that comes by. If it's all set up without having to make any changes, we don't even see it. But I'll have somebody call you, but.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Just like things are changing and changing fast,
Yeah.
so should some of
And I know
the
that
rules and regs.
we have parks that are putting in motion. We have a new park that they're building, and I know that Mayor Pizzillo he's big on outdoor recreation and that sort of thing. So I'm happy with what they're doing with that. Yeah, you're right. We got a lot of land between us and I-8 that's going to come up in the near future.
Yeah.
Not tomorrow, but it's
So
sometime in the near
yeah,
future.
I appreciate that. I'd love to take the phone call, maybe expand upon what I'm talking about a little bit more and see if there can be change made, okay?
Okay, all right,
All
thank
right,
you.
well, I appreciate your time.
Appreciate it, thank you. Anyone else like to speak?
Chair
Oh,
Clomer,
yes.
are we allowed to ask questions regarding that? I mean, can,
It's not on the agenda, so
Yeah,
it
yeah.
should be like responding to criticism or offering to have somebody contact them.
And we can put it on a future agenda to discuss.
Okay,
okay.
I'd like to do that,
Okay,
because I would like to have the discussion.
all right. I will do that.
Anyone else like to speak on a non-agenda item? Okay. This is the opportunity for commission members now to disclose any ex parte communication they may have had prior to this meeting on any item scheduled for discussion on this agenda. Ex parte communication is any outside communication commissioners may have had regarding items on tonight's agenda. Is there anyone that's had any outside communication?
No.
Okay, thank you. There's one public hearing on the agenda tonight. And as a reminder, the Planning and Zoning Commission is a recommendation board for council. The commission will vote on each item and forward the recommendation to council. Council makes the final decision on all items. Agenda item number 2 is a Celebration Plaza rezone. I'm going to open the public hearing. And Senior Planner Justin Gabrielson will present. Hi, Justin.
How's it going? Good evening, Chairman Clymer and Planning and Zoning Commission. As you mentioned, my name is Justin Gabrielson, Senior Planner here at the City of Goodyear, and I'm here before you this evening with a request from Christine Gay to request an amendment of the previously approved PAD known as Celebration Plaza. The site is located at the northwest corner of West Celebrate Life Way and North Litchfield Road. The site is currently zoned PAD under the Celebration Plaza PAD. Celebration Plaza encompasses 66.6 acres of land and includes a mixture of underlying uses. Shown here is a zoning map of the Celebration Plaza PAD. As mentioned, it does have several uses, including commercial, which very closely follows our C2 standards within the city, a multifamily section, a little bit higher density multifamily section, and two potential office uses or possibly a third multifamily use. We can also see here what's in the surrounding area. We have Interstate 10 up here to the north, Palm Valley Crossing to the east, Palm Gate to the south, Airport Gateway to the west, and City of Hope tucked into the corner here. Currently, the PAD puts a restriction on drive-throughs, and this drive-through restriction limits it to just one on the entire site. The applicant is proposing an amendment that will increase the drive-through from 1 to 2 standalone and unlimited end caps. The end caps will be drive-through users of one tenant of a building constructed to accommodate a minimum of 3 users. Due to the site not being in proximity of residential, no neighborhood meeting was required. Instead, an alternative citizen review occurred, and a postcard was sent out to the property owners within 500 feet of the property. To this date, no questions, comments, or concerns have been brought to my attention regarding the project. Staff is recommending you forward a recommendation of approval, subject to stipulations. Staff is requesting.
Okay.
That's it.
Any questions for staff?
Yeah, I do. Are there imminent proposals for this particular type of use, or is this just to allow them to be more flexible in their marketing of the site?
We've had a couple pre-applications meeting for the site, including one for the commercial zone as well as one for the multifamily zone down here. Very, very preliminary site plans provided, not much detail. The applicant does believe that this will provide them with a little bit more leniency and, like you said, just give them a little bit more options to be able to fill that commercial district up.
So this is this set in concrete that there'll be just 2? There'll be no wiggle room for any more further down the line?
I'd like to think so. Other than those end caps, they will be provided unlimited end caps, but with the amount of room that those end caps take, even if they were to do all end cap drive-throughs, you're probably only looking at about 3 or 4.
Is the applicant here? Would they like to make a statement?
The applicant is here, ready to answer any questions that you might have for them specifically, or if they're needed at all.
Do you know where they're proposing, which corners they're proposing to put these drive-throughs on?
The very preliminary site plan we did receive this last week at our pre-application meeting was on the south side of this test drive. However, like I said, it is very, very preliminary, nothing set in stone yet. I believe the intention is to, as we've seen, what's kind of shown in the PAD as well, is to do hotel uses on the north and then kind of the shops and restaurants on the south.
Were there any speaker cards?
I did receive one speaker card from Jeff L., who does not wish to speak, but was in support of the application.
Okay, if that's the case, anyone in the audience like to speak? Okay, we'll close the public hearing. Will the secretary please read the staff recommendation?
Recommend approval of the request to rezone the subject property, subject to the stipulations included in draft ordinance number 2025-XXXX. Is there a motion and a second for staff recommendation or an alternative motion to recommend denial of the staff recommendation? I have a motion from Vice Chair Sambito and a second from Commissioner Hegedus. The floor is open for commission discussion.
I really don't have a concern with the additional potential drive-through or the end caps. We've seen them in other locations. I think they're done really well. Staff does a good job of helping guide them. This one particular project, I was really looking forward and excited because they had a lot of different detailing on the building. So I keep watching for them to come through, and it's been a little bit of time. So if this makes it happen, I'd be excited to see it.
Okay. All right, please enter your vote. Motion passes. Recommendation of approval will be forwarded to City Council for the March 24th meeting.
Okay, the sole item of business this evening is to recognize our fellow commissioner. Oh, my smile, how are you? And this is your last meeting. Aren't you so excited? Yeah. All right, very good. And we appreciate the time that you've spent here. And I know it's a volunteer time, and everyone knows that, you know, they'd like to be home doing something else sometimes when these meetings drag out, but it's all for the good of the city, and we love to be working in proximity with people like us. So I really appreciate you guys, and I think Alyssa has something to say.
Got the official statement? No, but Commissioner Smith joined the Planning and Zoning Commission in October of 2023, stepping in to complete a vacant term. During his tenure, he played a valuable role in shaping the future of our city, contributing to key decisions on the new Solid Rock Teen Center within the Goodyear Municipal Complex, the 2035 General Plan Update, and updates to the design guidelines, as well as numerous private development applications. His dedication and service have helped strengthen our community, and we sincerely appreciate his commitment. Thank you, Commissioner Smith, for your time, insight, and contributions to the city of Goodyear. And don't let me forget, I have a little goodie bag for you. Thank you.
Okay, are there any staff communications?
There are. At their Monday, February 24th City Council meeting, the City Council heard a use permit for a convenience use gas station Quick Trip down on MC 85 and Estrella Parkway, as well as an amendment to the comprehensive sign package for Vantage data centers. And those were items that y'all heard and recommended for approval at your February 12th meeting. Council agreed, and they approved those items with no changes.
All right, can someone contact this gentleman that was here with some information for him?
Yes.
Have a little discussion. Appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, the next Planning and Zoning Commission meeting will be held on April 9th, 2025 at 6 p.m. here in the council chambers. No further business to be discussed. This meeting is adjourned.